So now Dalton proposed a theory of atoms. Now, who did propose? Great scientist Dalton. He proposed the theory of the new atoms. Of the atoms. Now he said the following things. First one being that matter consists of indivisible atoms. That means matter consists of atom, he said, but atoms are not divisible. Okay. So first one, matter consists of indivisible atoms. Second thing, he said that all the atoms of a given element have identical properties, including identical mass. Okay. So this means that an atom of sodium everywhere will have same properties as well as same mass. At that time they didn't knew sodium and all that stuff. So they just said that all the atoms of given element have identical properties and identical mass. So which means that atoms of different elements differ in masses and thus in properties. Okay. So the third thing he said that compounds are formed when atoms of different elements combine in a fixed ratio, not in any XYZ like H2O. Like you can say that H1.3 O 2.8. It's not like that. It's a good, a real, or you can say an integer ratio, whole number ratio. So compounds are formed when atoms of different elements combine in a fixed ratio. Okay. And now fourth one being that chemical reactions involve reorganization of atoms. So that was according to the first law, that atoms can neither be created nor that matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. So he just increased that. He said that in chemical reactions they only do reorganization of atoms. Atoms are neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. They are just reorganized. Okay, so the above points are pretty simple and easy to understand. So now coming to atomic and molecular masses. Okay, so here we go. So atomic and molecular masses. So atomic mass is a very small thing. Mass of an atom. Basically, frankly, I can't even imagine that how light that atom can be. But there is a unit defined for that, known as the AMU. Okay, AMU, the atomic mass unit. Denoted by small u, okay, or the unified mass. So let me just write that also. Unified mass. Okay. So this is the unit of atom. The unit of mass of atom. So in the terms of definition, 1 AMU is equal to the 1/12th the mass of a C12 isotope of carbon. Okay, so this means that 1 AMU is equal to 1/12 the mass of a C12 atom. Okay, so 1 AMU is the mass of 1/12 of C12 isotope of carbon. C12 means the isotope. It is isotope of carbon. I guess isotopes that they differ in masses and the atomic number is same. Okay, so now in terms of precise numbers, we can say that we can define the value of 1 AMU as 1 AMU is equal to 1.66056 into 10 to the power of -2. So this much small is 1 AMU, the mass of one atom. Okay, so it's we should know that the AMU, the unified mass, and atomic mass unit are same. Okay, so now coming to the concept of average atomic mass. So now we all know what are atomic masses. So coming to the concept of average atomic mass. Okay, so now since there are isotopes of different compounds, so there arises the need for average atomic mass of an atom, of an element, you can say. So we are already familiar with the word average. Okay, so average of atomic mass is equal to the average of the isotopes of the atom. So there is a simple formula for that. Let's just write that. This is average atomic mass is equal to, this sign is the summation form, in the summing everything. Summation of percentage abundance, percentage GE abundance, percentage abundance of every possible isotope into the mass of that isotope, and then dividing it by 100. I mean 100 to get the percentage. Okay. So basically average atomic mass. Okay. The percentage abundance into the mass upon 100. Because we have two percentages, so these will get cancelled. So it will just come into grams. I mean gram is very high, I think. EMUs. Okay. Percentage abundance into mass of that isotope and the summation of everything and whole divided by 100 gives you the atomic average mass or average atomic mass, the same thing. Okay. So now we are going forward for another thing, the molecular mass. So now we all know atomic masses. So coming to molecular mass. Molecular mass. So now, as the name suggests, this is the mass of one molecule of anything, or in simple terms, this is equal to the sum of atomic masses of the atomic masses of the elements present in the compound, or you can say the sum of atomic masses of the atoms present in this molecule. So this is a molecule, which means this is divided into several atoms. So just summing up the atomic mass of every atom, we get the molecular mass. Okay, so let's clear this thing with a small example of I guess let's take water. Okay, so water is basically H2. It is H2 only. So hydrogen, we are saying actually the exact mass of hydrogen is 1.008 EMU or U, the unified mass. But just for ease of calculations, we are taking 1 U. 1 U is not acceptable, but if there are big things like 100 atoms of hydrogen, 300 atoms of hydrogen, they are like that. So in that case, we can take 1 because this 0.008 will be like negligible. Okay, so just to ease, I am writing this 1 plus 1 atom of oxygen with 16, this is equal to 18. So which means the molecular mass of water is 80 EMU or U for unified mass. Okay, so now the next thing after molecular mass goes the formula mass. Okay, so now coming to formula mass. Now we should know that there is a difference between molecular mass as well as formula mass. There is a difference, clear difference. So the best example by which I can say the difference is we can understand, we all know basically that sodium chloride. In sodium chloride is a 3-dimensional structure. Okay. So in this structure, 1 atom of sodium is connected to 6 atoms of fluorine. It is a cube-like structure. It is 3D. Okay. So one, like sodium at the center and 6 chlorine at all the faces. One face here, one face here. So 6 faces we have in a tube. Sodium at the center connected to 6 chlorine atoms. Okay, so that is the kind of structure of sodium chloride. So it is very difficult to get what is the molecule. I mean, they are not connected with each other. I mean, this sodium is connected with this chlorine, this chlorine, this chlorine, this chlorine. So it is very difficult to get what is the molecule. So we can't. Now if we don't know what is the molecule, how many sodium are there, how many chlorines are there, so we can't get the molecular mass also. So there comes the concept of formula mass. Okay, so formula mass, we all know that the formula of sodium chloride is NaCl, so which simply means that there is only one sodium and one chlorine, one Na, one Cl. So by that we can get the formula mass, and that is equal to, for sodium I guess it is 23.0 unified mass, and for chlorine it is 35.5. So the formula mass comes out to be 58. So that is the formula mass. Okay. This is equal to the molecular mass, but here we are getting this thing by formula mass. This answer is now evaluated by the formula mass, because we are just not able to understand what is the molecule of this sodium chloride. We are not able to get how many sodiums are there connected to one chlorine, or how many chlorines are there in one sodium. So just to ease things, we are taking the formula mass. Okay, so basically that's it.